Hello everyone, I'm Beastly Eel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the 2-episode series premiere of Skeleton Crew. These 2 episodes needed to be come together right away. I'm going to go into detail about each of them and see how far we can get into it and talk about where I think the rest of this story is going to go. So the series begins with what I would assume is the past, where we see a pirate ship latch onto a Republic cruiser or a Republic transport ship, where they try to get into the vault. They get inside, and there's only just a few credits on there, which cause the crew to mutiny against their captain and remove him. We're going to touch base about this later, because I feel like it goes full circle with episode 2. But anyway, then the episode really begins on the planet called Aten. Sorry. And it's basically a planet that looks like it was originally run by the Republic in some sort of fashion, where they train the citizens as children to figure out what their careers are going to be, and then get them right into the workforce almost immediately. So the main character is, of course, Wim, and Neil. Wim is a character whose apparently mother has just passed away. His father is some sort of supervisor, which is apparently a title, like a rank, not so much a position, which I'm still trying to figure that piece out on how that works. But it's Star Wars, and like Empire and Republic things are weird. But anyway, we get right into it, and they, we're going through school, figuring out kind of things that are going on. Wim and Neil pretend to be Jedis, so they exist in some sort of capacity. So they, play Jedi for a bit as well. They get to school. They learn that they're going to have their assignment day, which is basically I would imagine it's the equivalent to Americans' SATs, where it's like this determines basically your future. Not so much now, but like in the past, that's what the SATs was about. Like the SATs determined what you were going to do with your life, pretty much. And these were going to determine what your careers were going to be and what you were going to do moving forward. So we have that going on. Apparently, Wim's dad is not going to be around as much because he's going to be working overtime, and so he gave his son some extra credits to kind of get through for his lunch during the week. On the day of his exam, yes, on the day of the exam, he misses the bus because he slept in, and Wim tries to get to the shuttle, which Neil was on, trying to get them to stop. It did not happen. Neil's also a blue-looking elephant, just so you kind of understand that piece for yourself. Humanoid elephant, just to have that image in your head, because I needed it for myself. So he's trying to get them to stop the transport ship. It does not stop. Wim decides he's going to find a different way of getting onto the ship. So what he does is, I get to school, so he opens up the door to his garage. He gets on a motorized bike, or hover bike. I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, takes off, or speeder. A speeder is probably a better term. So the speeder takes off, and he gets lost in the woods, crashes. While that's going on, he apparently misses his exam completely. Crashes into a remote area that apparently is restricted, and finds what looks to be like a buried opening to something. Wim assumes it is a Jedi temple, an old Jedi temple. However, droids come, find him, reprimand him, bring him to school, and basically punish him for being late to missing school. So then his dad gets there, and Wim's trying to explain what happened. His dad wants nothing to do with it. He said he convinced the school to at least get him to retake the test tomorrow, but he's going to have 50 points taken off, which means he'll have to get every answer right just to pass. So that night, while that's going on, he also meets with Fern, who apparently was getting in trouble because of she was building speeders, and apparently that's not allowed. So she was getting in trouble, and the two of them were talking. So Fern hears everything that Wim is saying to his father about this Jedi temple that, the dad's like, you don't even bother with it. It has nothing to do with anything. We need to focus more on school than anything else. So the dad takes him back home. He tells him he's got to study. Wim obviously goes to find Neil. The two of them go to the site where the Jedi Temple is, and apparently Fern and her friend KB are there as well. They're all trying to decide who's going to be the ones to discover what it is. Well, they get inside and they realize it's actually a ship, not a temple. They start playing around in there, and what happens? None other than them taking off. So this whole episode ends with basically them taking off. Wim's dad trying to stop whatever it is that's happening, right? And they take off into hyperspace, and they have no idea where they are. And that's how the first episode ends. So the second episode begins right where the first one ends. They're in hyperspace, not sure what to do. They hear a noise in the back, and there's a robot SM-33, which is a very damaged droid, who apparently is looking for his captain, where Fern decides to pretend that she killed the captain, and because of that has become the new captain. And SM-33, although does not 100% believe her, has no proof to prove her otherwise, so then makes Fern the new captain. There's some arguments with the kids about what's going on. They're trying to figure out how they're going to get home, and they're trying to use the droid to get them home. The droid is able to pilot the ship and teach the others how to pilot. However, he's unable to find their planet, because the planet that they're asking to be on is at Adam, which is their home planet. However, SM-33 has never heard of it before. It's not in his system whatsoever. So they explore the ship. We see a bunch of dead bodies, skeletons, all that stuff. A lot of dust, a lot of pirate hats. And then Fern decides that they're going to go to this starport that is hopefully going to get them the information that they need to get home. So they go to the starport. They get taken by this creature to the port, and the droid is basically like, "Hey, be careful. Like, Captain, make sure you always have your blaster on you just in case." They get over there. They're supposed to be staying together. They split up, which is obviously not good, and they begin to try to figure out how to get home. Fern realizes everyone's disappeared. Neil and Wim, I keep saying Kim, and that's not right. Wim and Neil are trying to eat. Then all these people find out that they have Old Republic credits, and they're all trying to steal it from these kids. And they're just saying that they want directions to At-Aten. And apparently At-Aten is a place that doesn't exist, according to these pirates, and that it is a treasure planet, if it ever to be found. So they now want these kids for more information. Wim knocks over his food, causes a massive fire, and him and Neil run away. Fern and KB find each other, and they begin to try to find the boys. They get stopped by a woman who is basically like, "We need to get you kids out of here. Like, this isn't safe." And they're like, "Well, we need to get to At-Aten." And the woman's like, "Yeah, very funny. Where are you actually from? Because At-Aten's not a real place." And you're like, yes, it is. That's where we're from. And this woman's really just not believing them, so she's trying to get more information from them. The two of them, KB and Fern, see Neil and Wim running away from a large crowd of pirates. So they begin to go with them. She pulls out a blaster to stop them from attacking them anymore. That's when SM-33 comes in after Fern's blaster is taken away. And SM-33 starts beating up the pirates like crazy. They run to their ship. As they get to their ship, SM-33 gets blasted in the head. Well, I don't know if he's blasted in the head or if he just gets like over like an electrical pulse almost that stops him from moving. But either way, he's malfunctioning, aka breaking down. That's when the pirate crew that we see from the beginning of the series comes in and captures the kids and puts them in the brig to put them in the brig for a couple of days to smarten them up so they'll tell him exactly what he's looking for. They go inside the brig. They try to use the rat that was inside of SM-33 to get the key, gets pretty damn close, I'm not going to lie to you. However, it doesn't work out, and the rat runs away. And that's when we see Jude Law's character, who apparently is in the prison as well, who states that he'll get them, if he gets them out, he'll gladly take them to their ship and get them out of there. Fern is like, fine, if you could get us out of here, then get us out of here, and then we'll talk about it then. So he then uses his force abilities to then get the key into his hands, and that's when Fern and Neil, not Fern, Wim and Neil are like, oh my gosh, he's a Jedi. And that's how the episode ends. So, a couple of things here is, I think that the captain of the original pirates that we saw in the beginning of episode 1 was actually Jude Law's character. Which would make sense because he's in the brig and everything else, and he's been there for a while. Plus, he's got a similar outfit, although he doesn't have the mask. He has a similar outfit to the one that captain was wearing. So I have a feeling that obviously the next episode is them escaping and getting to the ship and taking off. So I'm very curious to see where this is going to go, and also the fact that just because Jude Law's character is a Force user does not make him a Jedi. However, I can honestly understand why the kids assume he's a Jedi. Because to them, Force users are only Jedi. But yes, overall, this was actually very interesting. It was definitely much more world building than I was expecting, but it worked out. It was entertaining enough, got us intrigued, wanting more, and each episode had a cliffhanger, which making you want to watch the next episode. So this one ends with Jude Law having the key in his hand, ready to escape, but they haven't done so yet. So like I said, obviously the next episode is going to be them escaping, and I'm assuming this whole series, or season, is them trying to get home. But I don't know if they're actually going to make it. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, let me know what you guys thought about these 2 episodes in the comments down below. Did you like them? Did you not? And why? And as always, if you like the content you see, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.